Okay, then we're joined by, I'll let you introduce yourself first.
Hi, I'm Nicola Fox, and I'm currently a reflexologist. But before this, I worked at the college for 15 years, I think it was, in the sports department.
So, what is reflexology for learners who have never heard it or don't understand it? What is reflexology?
What is it? Yeah, good question. Reflexology is basically your hands and your feet are split into different reflexes, and each part of the hand and foot represents a different part of the body. So, for example, if we look at the balls of the hands here, that represents the chest and lung areas. And by applying pressure and stimulating the nerves in the feet and the hand and in those different reflexes, sends a message to the brain to try and rebalance anything that might be happening within the body. So that could link to physical, or it could relate to emotional issues that are going on. So through working different reflexes, you can try and help the body relax and reach homeostasis, or reach that balance. In a nutshell.
No, it's like I say, I think it's a really interesting thing. I mean, for learners who don't know, this is kind of an NHS kind of not medicine, but they do prescribe this sometimes.
Yes, I think the NHS can now prescribe it. It's a complementary therapy, but it is one that's had more research and that involved it, so it involves more science behind it. In terms of kind of learning reflexology, once there's different levels, so you've got a level 3 and a level 5. Doing the level 5 is the highest level, and it is the equivalent to a foundation degree.
Yeah.
And it covers a lot of anatomy and physiology, so the muscles, bones, things that will be covered in the sports course. But then it also looks at other areas such as the digestion and the skin and the senses, so it's kind of adding on to that anatomy and physiology that you're already aware of. Certainly knowing how the respiratory system, circulatory system, all of those, how they work, will be a really good knowledge base to going on and to learning reflexology. And then you kind of learn how those different areas are affected by different elements within that life throws at you, so and how you can work those areas to support a condition. So, for example, asthma, is obviously linked to the breathing. So, as well as working the lungs, diaphragm, you need to work on the heart and the circulatory system, so you get that flow of oxygen around the body. Because sometimes when there's a part of the body out of the balance, that affects the whole body. So it does, as a holistic therapy, it doesn't just look at, right, you've got asthma, it looks at all the different areas that then might be affected from that particular condition. And it's great for that anxiety, helping with sleep, giving you a boost of mood. Once you've had a reflexology session, you almost feel like you've got that kind of floating feeling and relaxed but slightly energized. So it's quite a bizarre feeling to describe, but regular sessions and delivering it to people regularly, you really see the benefits of it.
I can definitely agree. I mean, I've had it myself, and it's like I say, it's an amazing feeling afterwards. And like I say, having it regularly is really important. So for your job then as being a reflexologist, where do you work? What sectors do you work in, and where do you focus it really?
Yeah, so last year, I think it was August, when I left the college, I set up my own business. I'd been doing it a couple of days beforehand, so working part-time alongside working at the college, and then I took 2 days trying to build up that client. So I've set up my own business for ReFOXology. And I've got a wooden cabin in my back garden where I do one-to-one treatments. But in addition to that, I work in a therapy centre in Nottingham, where they do all the marketing. So I've got a day where I just turn up and I just deliver sessions on about 4 or 5 clients a day. And then in addition to that, I'm also going to be working alongside some charities and going into their charity hubs, as they call them, and working with parents and carers, either delivering sessions or passing on information to how they can help their youngsters. Currently, at the minute, I'm doing it virtually because obviously unable to actually touch hands or feet. I've put together some short video clips that I can deliver to my clients using Zoom and technology. So there is a variety of different ways that you can use reflexology. I know there's different YouTube videos and things out there. So learning this, you can deliver it in a number of different ways, as we've certainly discovered over the last few months.
Yeah. So with learners that are coming from like the BTEC and are thinking, do you know what, this sounds really interesting. What's their next step? How do they go into a course? How do they research it? What can they do now?
And it's really worth researching the different courses. I would certainly go. You can do a level 3. I think you've got to be 18 to do the courses. There's a level 3 if you kind of want to get a taster, and that doesn't cover as much as the anatomy and physiology. You can still call yourself a reflexologist, but it does make a difference in terms of the insurance that you can get and the full insurance. Then there is the level 5. Don't necessarily need to have any experience in it. Having a background in anatomy and physiology certainly will have such benefits, because I know when I did the course and there was lots of people there that didn't have that, it is difficult to do. So if you are looking at it, then have a look. There's lots of different courses. Make sure that they are fully accredited. The one that I did was with Jubilee College. Now I know that the bloke who runs that, David, he delivers that in Leicester, Nottingham and Sheffield. So it is worth looking out for Jubilee College and looking at the courses that David delivers. Online courses I would tend to avoid, because there's so much practical element that you need from being there and learning it, rather than just doing it online. It's not quite the same, so maybe avoid those. If you're thinking about what can I do in preparation before then, maybe thinking about, caring roles. If you can go and have some reflexology, I would suggest go and have reflexology, because that's why I chose it. It's because I'd had it. It helped for me in terms of fertility and for mental health and keeping me balanced. And from having it, then I've continued to have it ever since. So I would definitely go out and try it. You're going to enjoy it. You will certainly enjoy giving it to other people. Might sound a bit weird, but think about whether you like touching people's feet.
Yeah.
Because that
it's a huge part of the job.
If you don't like feet, it is not the job for you. So have a think about that. But kind of caring role, I would say, in terms of the skills and things that you need to have: listening, caring, being thoughtful, being able to, I suppose, read people's emotions, and just, you can almost turn into a bit of a therapist, and you're just listening. So, basic counselling courses and things like that, basic first aid courses, they're all useful to have alongside reflexology.
So what's the good parts of your job? What's the bad parts?
The good parts are that it doesn't really feel like I'm doing a job. It's actually really, I find it relaxing delivering the treatments. No one person is the same. So to me, it's always a bit of a challenge. And if you, for example, an imbalance in the foot or the hand, you might feel that it's quite crunchy, or shoulders tend to be quite tight. So you've got the shoulder kind of on the side of the finger here and on the same part of the foot. So it tends to be quite stiff. So it's always a nice challenge to try and work that out. And the client, when they're finished, to say, oh yeah, that feels much better. So it is such a rewarding. The bad parts, I think, starting up your own business. In terms of the reflexology, not got anything negative to say about that, but starting up your own business is tough.
Yeah.
There's lots of things that you've got to think about before you kind of get started with that. And kind of advertising and marketing. For me, that the business side of it has been the biggest learning curve, as my forte was not in social media or anything technological, and that you do need to know that. So even if you're thinking of going into a business like reflexology or another complementary therapy, looking at maybe doing something, a short business course alongside it would be beneficial to look at. How do you start a business? How do you plan? How much money you're going to make? How are you going to get your clients? So it's kind of building up that trust and people getting to know you, even if it's through social media. That's probably the difficulty of working for yourself. But getting experience with another company, with another health centre is always is good initially when you're starting off before setting up on your own.
Last question for you, Nick. If I could take you way back when you were 16, what advice would you give yourself?
Do what you enjoy doing. Do what you're really passionate about. Because whatever you do, you will succeed in that. I always wanted to do, and I did, I wanted to do sport. That's all I wanted to do, sports science. And that's what I did. I went to university and I did that. And then you change and adapt because as you get older, so do what you want to do at that time, because as you get older within your life, there are routes now. You can go back and retrain. I did my sports science degree. I had a few years that I trained as a teacher, and then 14, 15 years later, I retrained as a reflexologist, and that is always possible. So follow your dreams, do what you want to do, because that will make you happy, and you'll enjoy your career in the long term, and you don't know where that path will then take you.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Nick, for your time. We appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you very much, Danny.